Yes, gang, back on the vlog. This is going to be an absolute belter of a video, so stay with me. I am so G'd up for this, I can't even tell you how excited I am. It's going to be a mint video, so stay with me. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do it right now. We're going to jump in the car, driving up to Lanark, and then we're going to be driving to Stirling tomorrow and discovering everything that's been significant to William Wallace back in the day, back 700 years ago when he was fighting for the independence of Scotland. So come on, let's get in the car and off we jolly well. Right gang, we're here, made it. We're at Station House in just outside Lanark. So we're actually 5 kilometres away from Lanark itself. So come on, let's get in here and see what it's saying. I'm excited. Driving up here, absolutely beautiful scenery. Scotland, you've got it going on. Right, check out the room. The Station House. So I've just met the bloke Alan. He's gonna cook me breakfast in the morning, showed me around. Beautiful, I'll show you downstairs in a minute. So this is your room. Got your double bed, teas, coffees, telly. Lovely little modern bathroom. Nice big shower as well. Sweet as. Good to go. Right, so get on this here. This is just like the little living room downstairs, this. It's like a little communal lounge. Cool, eh? Slept mint in this room. Honestly, I can't recommend this enough. I'm gonna put all the description, put all the links to this hotel in the description down below, so just jump on it. It's brilliant. It's a cosy room, lovely and warm. Like I said, oh, look at the sun. The sun's out today. I'm buzzing. I cannot wait for this. Had a shower. Nice big shower. I'm just going to dump my bag and that in the car, and then we'll come back in and have our breakfast that Alan's cooked up. I'll try and film a little bit of that as well. The tap water, by the way, in Scotland is looks like drinking it out of a bloody bottle. It's like having a bottle of Evian water out of this bad boy, honestly. So good. And you're not going to believe this, right? That we're doing the William Wallace thing and that, right? Each room has got its own name, right? Check this out. This is what mine's called. Bear in mind. If that's not a good omen, I don't know what is. And he weren't to know that. He don't know what I'm doing. He knows I'm filming, but he don't know what we're filming. You know what I mean? So that's just mad, innit? Anyway, let's put the gear in the car, get some breakfast, and we're back on it. This is Lanark Town Centre. This is where it all began. William Wallace. So a little bit of a backstory on it, right? In the 13th century, basically Scotland was under English occupation, which means the English here would have had little castles dotted around, and the soldiers basically had control. So the soldiers would have just took all the Scottish people's money and basically just treated them like shit, if I'm honest. So I found this little alley down here. I discovered this yesterday. So I was going to show you this. This is mental. So the tale of William Wallace, Lanark. Wallace and his men arrive in Lanark. It's where he meets his Marion, his missus, who he marries in secret. So this is all to do with the movie, basically. That's where he gets the thistle. He puts it in the handkerchief and he keeps it, yeah? I'm guessing that's a little map of Scotland. There's the English soldiers, and there's Wallace fighting them. So they murdered his wife because he married her in secret, basically. So to avenge her death, he killed the sheriff, which was Heselrig. Yeah? Split his skull in half, right down to the collarbone like that. So that's just telling you So I'm going to show you where Wallace lived now with his missus, Marion. So this is where his house was, this is where he lived with his missus, Marion. Unbelievable, eh? Oh, look at this, this is his sword. Well, it's not his actual sword, but look. Look at that. Mint. And obviously back then it would have been just stone and like a thatch roof or something like that, I would have thought. So this is just telling you the story of the English soldiers killing his wife, and then him and his mates basically, look here, they go to the Lanark Castle on a deadly mission, and this is where he kills Heselrig, chops his head in half. Unbelievable. And then they hid out in the forest, which we're going to look at all this. Yeah, and then all the news would have got spread around the country. And this is the start of it, start of Wallace's army, the independence. Right, we're going to go to Lanark Castle now, which is where his pals murdered Heselrig, and see what that's saying. I don't actually know if it's still there or not. It might just be a little site where it once was. Right, so Lanark Castle isn't here anymore. It's just a marker that they've put. So it were likely burnt down by Robert the Bruce. It was the future king in 1310. So they've just got this little marker here. So this is where it once stood. So after William Wallace killed Heselrig, he broke into this castle here. Oh, I think there's like a bowling club now here. Yeah, so they broke into the castle, killed Heselrig, and then the castle was disused after that, and then burned down by Robert the Bruce, the future king of Scotland, after William Wallace died. So yeah, it's just a bowling. Built a bowling club instead. Look. So this is it, Cartland Craigs Nature Reserve, and this is a big gorge, this. Yeah. So what would have happened, what he would have done, is after killing Heselrig in Lanark, which is just over there at the castle, which is no longer there. So about 4-minute drive, so it's not far. He would have legged it with his pals, come and hid out somewhere in there, in a cave, and from then Wallace headed north and regrouped with a bunch of other rebels who wanted the same thing as he did, which is the independence of Scotland. So he found them, and then the Battle of Stirling Bridge pretty much happened after that, which is where we're going to go now. But yeah, look at how beautiful this is as well, man. Flipping heck, that's high as well. Unbelievable, eh? And there's no signs for this. It's not obvious at all. You've really got to do your research for it, because you'd think, wouldn't you, they'd have like what's that? Yeah, that's so high. Yeah, you'd think that they'd have some at least a few signs saying, you know, this is where Wallace hid in his cave and all that, but there ain't. You've just got to imagine what he was like as a person. I mean, at the end of the day, they did slit his wife's throat, so there's no wonder that he wanted revenge. But how brave, hence the name Braveheart. But yeah, what a badass. This is it, look, Cartland Craigs Nature Reserve. So the old trail goes around 9 kilometres, but we're not going to do all that, obviously. Go to Stirling now and check that out. Absolute rebel. So he weren't a part of the Scottish army or anything like that. he just joined forces with other rebels and probably talked them round and said, look, come on, what's standing for this anymore? We want our country. And that's what he did. Right, we're going to jump in the car and head to Stirling. It's about an hour from here, so we'll stop along the way and see any decent scenery. I keep saying how good the scenery is here. It is, it's absolutely insane how good it is. I love it. Have a go at Rob Roy. So he was well after Wallace, like 350 years after. He was another Scottish outlaw back in the day. So William Wallace were medieval times, whereas Rob Roy, who is in there, was like more modern times, I suppose. Alright, this is Stirling. Have a go on this. Some of these buildings are off its head, honestly. Castle's up here. Oh, there's an Old Town jail. I might be in it after. King Robert the Bruce, June 24th, 1314. And there he is. Meathead. So this, Stirling Castle, was basically the fortress and the gateway between Highlands and the lowlands of Scotland. So all the noblemen, Queen of Scots was born here, Mary the Queen of Scots that is. Robert the Bruce would have stayed here occasionally. But yeah, how good is this? This isn't really significant to William Wallace as such, the castle I mean. But we're going to be going to Stirling Bridge, which is over that away, which has massive significance to William Wallace. So come on, let's go. Let's go and check that out. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Stirling Bridge as it stands now. Obviously it's not the original bridge because that collapsed. So what happened is the Scots were on one side and the English were on the other side. And when the English charged, the Scots charged towards them, and because of the weight that were on the bridge with the soldiers and the armour and everything, the bridge collapsed right in there into the River Forth. So that's how they defeated the English. Mental. So a year after this, it was the Battle of Falkirk, which Edward Longshanks, which was King Edward I, he led the army, and they beat Scotland. So they still didn't have their independence even then. Look at this here. So it wasn't until Robert the Bruce, who was King of Scots in 1306, and at the Battle of Bannockburn, which is where we're going to go soon, that's where the Scots defeated England properly, and then they had their independence. But by that time William Wallace were dead, hung, drawn and quartered in London. Yeah, just take a minute, have a look. And the castle's just over there, just over that hill. So imagine the Scots all looking at watching that bridge collapse. Yeah, so it was quite clever how they did it, really. So they would have known that bridge would have been dodgy, so they let all the English run halfway at the halfway point. Then the Scots would have like charged up a bit. When the English couldn't manoeuvre and couldn't fight them back, the bridge just collapsed into the River Forth, and all the thousands of English soldiers just died. Right, I'm going to go to the Wallace Memorial now and have a look at that. Right, we're in 246 steps up, but you can see his sword in here somewhere. sword. 1.6 metres that. Not the size of a small man, I suppose, but massive nonetheless. Weighs 3 kilo. Be heavy though if you're wielding that around your head, wouldn't it? Hacking body parts off and stuff. Got it, made it at the top now. Wow, God, Jesus Christ. I can't look, I'll show you. Wow. How good was that with Robert the Bruce then? His statue with the light from the stained glass window shining on his head. Very holy. That's the River Forth then, running through. Unbelievable. Oh Jesus, that's high. Look at that. Wow. My vertigo's setting in. Oh God, you can actually go higher. Bloody hell. Fly your flag, proud Scotland. How about the size of his sword? Christ. Imagine a whack over the head with that. You won't be getting up, would you? Yeah, so as I was saying before, he were hung, drawn and quartered in London. Chopped his head off, stuck it on London Bridge, took all his guts out, chopped all his limbs off and sent his legs back to Scotland to as a warning to other Scots. And then obviously where we're going next has massive significance. The Battle of Bannockburn. This is where it took place. We're stood on the battlefield now. Wow. So in 1314 this would have been a different story. So the army that the Scots faced, the English army, were twice the size of the Scottish one. Like I was saying, led by King Robert the Bruce. And I'm guessing that's him there on his horse. Let's go and have a look. God, look at this here, right? So this is the view from the Scottish camp where we stood now. This is where Robert the Bruce stood, and we was watching the English army arrive on the Roman road over the Bannockburn. To the right, boggy land protected his camp from an English charge. Somewhere below you, Bruce famously killed Sir Henry de Bohun on the first day of the battle. Henry de Bohun. And the English would have been led by Edward II. Longshanks was dead at this point. It's just mad, it's just mental. Just to put things into perspective, if William Wallace hadn't have done what he'd done to Heselrig and caused all that uproar and fought for the independence of Scotland, it might have been completely different today. Think about that. Would Robert the Bruce have been, do you know what I mean? Would he be fighting as hard as he did for the independence of Scotland, or would he just kicked back and thought, well, it's England now, I'm king, but what can I do about it? Do you know what I mean? So there you go, there he is. Big Rob on his horse, looking at the English army. Full on. So even the Romans didn't conquer Scotland. So what they did, the Romans had Wales and England and pretty much built London and pretty much all of England. So when they got up to Scotland, Scotland just went, nah, get out, you're not even coming in. This is like 2,000 years ago. So instead, that's why they built Hadrian's Wall. Yeah, we'll have all of England, but we'll stop at that wall there. How about that? After the battle, in the distance you can see Stirling Castle, which surrendered to the Scots after the battle. Bruce's victory at Bannockburn didn't end the war right away, alright, but it did mark a new phase in the conflict. Bruce continued his campaign for many years before the English king accepted him and his heirs as Scotland's lawful rulers. Bloody hell. So even that, it didn't end straight away. They were still bloody back and forwarding. So the English invaded again twice after this. They also attempted to overthrow Bruce, but he foiled their plans. So in 1322, Bruce defeated the English on their own soil at the Battle of Billand. There you go, look. Queen Elizabeth II unveiled this statue, look. But how fascinating and interesting has that been? I hope you enjoyed that. Nice one. Thank you so much. Wow.
Any sausage at all?
No, that's good for me. Thank you. Right, the goods have arrived. Have a go at this. Look at that. Also got the Tennant's, Glasgow's finest, brewed in Glasgow, 4%. Oh, yeah, lovely drop. Right, I just want to say a big thank you to Scotland. Cheers, and cheers to all you guys as well. Thanks for watching, and just hit that subscribe button. Yeah, I just wanted to say, it's what a beautiful country you all have here. It's absolutely stunning. Like your scenery, the people. It's just, I've had such a good time. I can't wait to come back, to be fair. And if you've got any other places, any points of interest, anywhere where you think I should go in Scotland, let me know in the comments, and I'll get on it and go, because I'm having a time of my life here. It's so much fun. I hope you're all enjoying it as well. Like I said, hit the subscribe button. Let's get this channel rocking, and then there'll be a lot more to come, you know what I mean? But yeah, I reckon that's it. That's a wrap, I think. So we've done it. We've smashed it. Obviously, we've only scratched the surface, really. We've not seen much of Scotland. We've done what we needed to, which was the William Wallace tale. So cheers, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Wicked.